Hello learners, I am Karishma Naik, Assistant Professor from Ganpat Parsikar College of Education, welcomes you for this MOOC course. The name of my course is Apiculture and the title of my module is Morphology and Behavior of Honeybees. Now let's see the content of this module. In this module, we are going to study classification, types of bees, species of honeybees, castes of honeybees, developmental stages and life cycle of honeybees, and morphological features of honeybees. At the end, we are going to see references for this module. Now let's start with classification. Honeybees are highly organized social insects and their systematic position is as follows. This classification was given by a well-known naturalist Linnaeus. So let's start with the classification. The kingdom is Animalia. The phylum of the honeybees is Arthropoda. Class Insecta. Order Hymenoptera. Superfamily Apoidea, family, Apidae, genus, Apis, and there are different species like Mellifera, Serena, Dorsata, and Floria. Now let's start about the types of bees. The order Hymenoptera contains more than 130,000 species of insects in the world. Bees as a group are closely related to ants and wasps. They have branched hairs on the head and thorax. Order Hymenoptera contains more than 130,000 species of insects in the world. Bees as a group are closely related to ants and wasps. They have branched hairs on the head and thorax, and their hind tarsi are modified for pollen collection. Some of the important families of bees are as follows. The first one is Coletidae, which are known as plastobees. These nest in burrows in the ground and plaster their burrows with a thin translucent substances. Second one is Halictidae, which are known as mining bees. These bees also nest in burrows at ground level or in the tree barks. Third one is Andrenidae, which are known as mining bees. These bees also nest in burrow in the ground or in tree barks. Next one is Megachilidae, which are known as leaf-cutting bees. They nest in the ground or dead wood. Their burrows are buried with circular pieces cut from the plant leaves. Next one is Apidae. Here there are bumblebees, honeybees, stingless bees. These are the bees with well-developed social system of different castes and division of labor and live in colonies. Last one is Anthophoridae, which are known as carpenter bees. These bees nest as parasites in the nest of other bees or in wood, bamboo stems, soft stems of other plants, etc. Now let's talk about the species of honeybees. The honey which is produced and we consume comes from many species of the bees having varied productivity levels. There are 4 true species of honeybees. Let's talk about the first one, that is rock or giant honeybee. The scientific name of this bee is Apis dorsata. So it is the largest Indian honeybee and prepares large open combs singly on trees or caves, walls and other parts of the buildings. they have a regular migratory habit of swarming in the hills. It produces large quantity of honey, but this bee is difficult to domesticate. Second one is a small little honeybee. The scientific name of this bee is Apis florea. It is the little bee of India. Their workers are very small in size, but this species is non-gregarious and builds a single comb which is about 15 cm across, suspended on the branches or under caves. Honey yield is poor, around 0.5 to 1 kg honey per comb. Now in this figure, you can see both the bees, that is Apis dorsata and Apis florea. Now third bee is Asiatic honeybee, and the scientific name of this bee is Apis cerana indica. It is medium-sized bee, and their hive consists of several parallel combs in the cavities of tree trunks, earthen pots, etc. It is not so furious and can be domesticated. European honeybee, that is Apis mellifera, is the fourth type. It is originated from Italy and somewhat looks like the Indian bee, which is also known as Apis indica. It can be easily domesticated and best species for commercial point of view. The average production of a honey is 50 to 60 kg per hive. Now both these bees you can see in the picture below. Now let's start about the caste system in honeybees. Now let's see about the caste system in honeybees. Honeybees live in colonies, and there are different types of bee in a hive to look after different works related to the hive maintenance. They can be differentiated on the basis of morphological characters. So let's talk about the first one, that is worker bee. Worker bee is sexually sterile female and is the smallest individual as compared to other two castes. It performs all important functions for the well-being of the colony, such as nest building, food gathering, brood care, defense of the colony, attending the queen bee, keeping the hive warm and hygienic, and gathering raisins and water as per the need in the colony. The epidermis of abdomen is modified for secreting wax. It has well-developed sting and hind legs have pollen basket for collecting pollen. Now in this picture you can see all three castes of honeybee, that is queen, drone and worker. So this is the worker bee. Now let's talk about the queen bee. The queen bee is sexually matured female, bigger in size than the worker bee. Queen bee has a longer abdomen, distended and extending well beyond the folded wings. It has notched mandibles, 12 jointed antennae and a sting which is used only to combat a rival queen. The lifespan is about 3 to 4 years and they may lay eggs at the rate of 1500 to 2000 per day. Now let's see the third one, that is drone. It is the larger and stouter than the workers and has small notched mandibles because they do not mold wax. It has no sting. The lifespan is about 60 days of these drones. It is a functional male developed from unfertilized egg. It takes part in the nuptial flight of the queen bee for mating. It dies after successful mating with the queen. Now let's talk about the developmental stages and life cycle of honeybee. Honeybee undergoes 4 developmental stages during its life. The first one is egg. So here the egg is purely white in color and slightly curved. Second one is larva. It is legless and lies coiled in its cell. Growing larva sheds its skin many times before it is fully grown. All the larvae are fed royal jelly for the first 3 days. Thereafter, worker and drone larvae are reared on glandular secretions and honey, but queen bee larva is fed on royal jelly. Then let's see the third one, that is a pupa. When larva is fully grown, its cell is sealed. Larva, after a brief pre-pupal period, spins thin silken cocoon around it and undergoes a gradual distinct changes. Now fourth one, after the pupa, is the adult bee. After the pupal development, the insect transforms into adult. Then the adult bee emerges out of the sealed cells. Now let's talk about the morphological features of honeybee. The body of the honeybee is divided into 3 distinct regions, that is head, thorax and abdomen. Head bears the sensory, vision and feeding organs and inside encloses a brain. Thorax bears 3 pairs of legs and 2 pairs of wings. Abdomen is mainly concerned with metabolic activities and is the site of the reproduction as well. Now you can see the morphological features which we discussed just now in this picture, where you can clearly see the head, thorax and the abdominal region. Now let's talk about these regions in detail. The first one is head. The head of the honeybee is flattened from the front. The rounded lateral sides of the head bear the compound eyes. The head of a worker bee is triangular and slightly longer than broad. The queen's head is little rounded. The head of the drone is much large, round and greatly occupied by the large black kidney-shaped compound eyes, which meet at the top, means at the vertex of the head. Now you can see clearly that all the three castes have different shape of head. The 3 simple eyes arranged in the triangular shape located on the upper side of the head. The antennae is a segmented appendages of the head and work as a sensory organ. The mouth parts of the honeybee are located at the downward side of the head. Generally, bees have chewing and lapping type of mouth parts. Now let's see the second region, thorax. This is the second region of the honeybee body. It comprises of 3 segments, the frontal, middle and posterior. Frontal is known as prothorax, middle is known as mesothorax and posterior is known as metathorax. Every segment bears a pair of legs, and mesothorax and metathorax also have a pair of wings each. The first abdominal segment is fused with the metathorax and is termed as propodium. Wings are transparent, simple in shape and vanishing. The forewing is much larger than the hind wing. The 3 pairs of legs are structurally and functionally modified to perform various functions, especially in worker bees. For example, the forelimbs are modified for antenna cleaning, the middle legs for pollen brushing and the hind legs for pollen collection. Now let's talk about the last region, that is the abdomen. The first abdominal segment is fused with the metathorax called the propodium. The second abdominal segment is greatly constricted anteriorly at its union with the propodium and gives freedom to the abdomen movement. The remaining abdominal segments are collectively called as gaster. The gaster consists of 6 exposed segments in the females and 7 in the drones, and the remaining are concealed and considerably modified into external reproductive organ. The abdomen also houses different types of glands and spiracles. Now here you can see the references used for this particular module.